In 2019, a family of three moved into a quiet suburban house. It looked perfectly normal, a picture of tranquility. It felt safe, a haven. Yet it was empty. But some houses don't stay empty for long. The first night should have been normal, but the house didn't feel asleep. The air was too still. The shadows felt too heavy, and something was watching them from the dark. The family ignored it, because humans always ignore the first sign of danger. By the third day, small things began to disappear. A loaf of bread here, a few apples there. Not enough to notice at first, but enough to make the family feel uneasy. Something or someone was in the house with them, watching, waiting, faking. Then the daughter began talking about someone no one else could see, a quiet man who watched her from the corners of the house. At first, the parents laughed it off as an imaginary friend, but the way she described him, the way she said he never moved, something didn't feel right. That night, the air grew heavier. The parents woke to the sound of whispers and footsteps that didn't belong to anyone. Doors slammed on their own, and in the corner of the living room, the figure the daughter had described stood silently, watching, eyes black, face shadowed. And for the first time, the family realized they were not alone. The next day, the family tried to pretend nothing happened, but the house wouldn't let them. Scratching sounds came from inside the walls. Footsteps crawled across the ceiling, and at night, something whispered their names from the dark, not in a voice they recognized, but in a voice that sounded almost human. That night, the family finally came to a chilling and desperate decision. They packed quickly, grabbed their daughter, holding her ever so close. They didn't care about the house anymore. They just desperately wanted out. But when they got to the front door, it wouldn't open at all. The locks twisted on their own, sealing them inside. Windows sealed shut, and the terrifying thing inside the walls began to slowly move closer now. In the middle of the chaos, the daughter suddenly stopped crying and went quiet. She wasn't scared. She was listening. Then she looked at her parents and said something that froze them to the bone. Her voice was calm, almost unnervingly so. "Daughter, he said we can't leave because this is his house." And the worst part was not what she said, but the calm way she said it. He never spoke. Not a word. Not to the family. Not to the police. Nobody could figure out how he got in or why he stayed. And the more they questioned him, the more terrifying the silence became. But the worst thing wasn't the man. It wasn't the attic. It wasn't even the months he spent watching them. It was what the police found taped to the wall. Dozens of photos. The family sleeping. Except the pictures were taken weeks before they ever moved in. Meaning, he didn't just live in their house. He was waiting.